Guys, I have a confession. I never played an SMT game before. Since Digital Devil Story is an NES game released in 1987, I'm sure it's a straightforward game that can be completed within 15 hours. Piece of cake, right?
Get the f*** out of here! Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
So to say that Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei is a difficult game would be the understatement of the decade. Seriously guys, this game kicked my butt so hard that my vertebrae started coming out of my mouth one by one like a pest dispenser. And the crazy part is, I keep coming back for more. By the time I finished the game, it truly felt like a cathartic experience, and I actually enjoyed it more than I expected. If you are interested to attempt this game, stay tuned for my gameplay tips. Digital Devil Story on the NES was developed by Atlus and published by Namco in 1987. It is a game based off a trilogy of science fantasy novels written by Aya Nishitani, who took an interest in astrology and Western black magic. The pretty boy protagonist, Akemi Nakajima, is a high school student and computer prodigy who created a program to summon demons from the netherworld in order to take revenge against the bullies at school. Nakajima subsequently lost control as the demons learned to manifest themselves in the real world with the desire of enslaving humanity. A new transfer student, Yumiko Shirasagi, became interested in Nakajima and set out to help him combat the malicious demons that were unleashed. As it turns out, Yumiko is the reincarnation of the Japanese goddess Izanami, while Nakajima is the reincarnation of deity Izanagi, making them both husband and wife in a previous lifetime. The original novels had a really dark story and contained numerous disturbing scenes. While it's no Pulitzer Prize material, I find that reading the books helped with the immersion experience and made me more emotionally invested in the game. As such, I would recommend that you read at least the namesake novel Megami Tensei, Reincarnation of the Goddess, in order to better appreciate the backstory. So at the start of the game, the player is free to allocate 15 points to the different attributes of Nakajima and Yumiko. Strength is one of the most important attributes, as it affects the maximum HP growth of both characters as they level up. This can make a big difference by the time you reach the end of the game. Strength also affects the amount of HP recovered by the character using healing spells. At the start of the game, I neglected Yumiko's strength attribute. When I reached the first area boss, my Yumiko died because she had less than half the total HP of Nakajima and recovered less HP through the Medi spell. So it's really important to raise the strength stat for both characters if you want a more balanced playthrough. Next, Wisdom affects Yumiko's max HP, magic resistance, and the amount of healing she can do. Given that she's the only member of the party who can use magic outside of battle, this attribute is obviously a priority for her. Although Nakajima cannot use magic, his wisdom points affect how easy it is to recruit demons into your party and how fast Yumiko can learn magic spells. Every 10-point increase in the sum of the characters' levels and their wisdom points will allow Yumiko to learn a new spell. For example, if you set the wisdom points to 9 each for both characters, they will have a total of 18 wisdom points and 2 level points. The resulting 20 points will allow Yumiko to start the game with the healing spell Medi, in addition to the basic Mappa spell. The next important attribute is agility. Agility determines how fast you can act in battle and can reduce the physical damage inflicted by the enemies. The average agility of the demons that appear in the Tower of Daedalus is around 7 to 8 points. So allocating a 9 to Nakajima and Yumiko will allow them to have the speed advantage and to dodge attacks in battles. In comparison, attack and luck are slightly less important attributes, so you can balance the point allocation alongside agility when your characters level up in future. Luck affects the success rate of escaping battles as well as the chance of getting a preemptive attack over enemies, while attack obviously affects the attack power of your characters. In any case, you shouldn't be relying on your human characters too much for attack because the demons in your party will usually be the stronger attackers. This game is a first-person dungeon crawler, so it's really easy to get lost when navigating the different mazes. You are supposed to explore, fight enemies during random encounters, and create your own maps. This process will help to reduce a substantial amount of grinding. However, if you really hate making maps and have no sense of direction like I do, just refer to the available maps online and play the game as you wish. This game takes place in an extensive labyrinth constructed by the great demon king Lucifer. The entire labyrinth is divided into 6 main areas, each ruled by an area boss. You start off at Mikon city located on the 8th floor of Daedalus Tower. Then you have to get through the entire Daedalus Tower, the Sky City of Bien, the Valhalla Corridor, the Mazurka Corridor, the notorious Rotten Sea of Flames, before finally arriving at the Anfini Palace where you have to confront the final boss. As in a traditional JRPG, the battles are turn-based and both human characters will earn experience points, money, and items after a successful battle. Every level up rewards Nakajima and Yumiko with 1 attribute point, which you can allocate to one of the 5 character attributes. An interesting thing to note is that the amount of magic damage inflicted on enemies during battle is affected by the order of your party of 5. The 4th and 5th position will provide the biggest boost to magic damage, and so Yumiko should always be in either of this position. On the other hand, the 3rd position will inflict the least amount of magic damage, so the non-magic wielding Nakajima should always be placed in this position. During battles, Nakajima can use the Comm command to talk to and recruit demons into the party in exchange for Maka, Magnetite, and Jewel. This can be done only when there is 1 demon left on its own. The demon's attitude towards the party will also be influenced by the moon phase. At full moon, the power of the devil is strongest and demons are less likely to respond favorably to you. On the other hand, at new moon, the power of the devil is weakest and negotiations with demons are more likely to succeed. There are altogether 14 categories of enemy demons, out of which only 4 categories are recruitable allies. These are the Feral, Mythic, Terran, and Fairy classes. As our demon allies do not receive experience points, the only way to get stronger demons is to fuse better ones as our characters level up. The above-mentioned 4 classes of demons are also the only enemies that could potentially drop a HP recovery jewel after battle. The player can recruit and store up to 7 demons in the computer, but only 3 demons can be summoned for battle at any point in time. It will cost Maka to summon each demon, and all summoned demons will consume the demonic energy Magnetite as the player walks around. When Magnetite goes to 0, the party will suffer HP loss while walking, so be sure to return the demons back to the computer when you run out of Magnetite. Demons that are stored in the computer will also recover their HP as the player walks around. Towards the end of the game, Nakajima can summon the powerful demons Ganesha, Wonglong, and Krishna, and these demons will not consume Magnetite while dungeon crawling. Mikon City is on the 8th floor of Daedalus Tower, and it will be our base camp throughout the game. This city contains a recovery spring, a weapon and armor shop, a password point, and the House of Heresy where the player can fuse demons and pay to remove status ailments from your party. This is the only place in the entire game where you can fuse demons and remove status ailments, so we will be coming back on a regular basis. For the sake of your sanity, I highly recommend using the save states in the emulator instead of using the password point. Our first order of business is to perform a trick which will allow us to open the treasure chest in Mikon City twice. After opening the chest for the first time, get Yumiko to use a magic spell to consume her MP. Then proceed to the recovery spring to recover Yumiko's MP by paying 2 Maka. Return to the treasure chest room, and we are now able to open the chest a second time, giving us a total of 998 Maka to purchase the best weapons and armor. At this point, Nakajima should be equipped with the dagger, combat suit, and cracked shield, while Yumiko should be equipped with the scorpion whip, combat suit, and helmet. We are now ready to explore the next 7 floors of Daedalus Tower. The objective is to do some grinding and recruit demon allies in preparation for the first boss fight on the first floor. Enemies tend to spawn near the archways, so these are always good grinding spots. Once you get to the 4th floor and below, the enemies will get considerably stronger. Avoid fighting the demon bug as it has an annoyingly high HP and is just not worth the time. If Yumiko or Nakajima is inflicted with a permanent status effect such as paralysis, stone, or poison, you will need to return to the House of Heresy to remove these effects. If your demon allies are inflicted, you can just return the demon into the computer and resummon them to get rid of the status effect. We will need to get Nakajima and Yumiko to at least level 10 for the boss fight against Minotaur located on the 1st floor of Daedalus. While grinding, be sure to recruit demons such as Cerberus, Dryad, Cancer, and Hecate. Cerberus has high HP and agility, while fusing Cancer and Hecate will get you Baku, which has high strength and improved healing spell Medical. You can also fuse Dryad and Cancer to get Trent as your 3rd demon ally for the fight against Minotaur. During the fight against Minotaur, wither down its HP gradually, while healing when necessary. After defeating Minotaur, we receive the Calm Gem and the elevator will now function, allowing for a faster method of travel between Mikon City and the 1st floor of Daedalus. Be sure to go back to the 3rd floor using the elevator to obtain Garu's shield. Next, we will need to get to the Sky City of Bien by passing through the 1st floor of the Valhalla corridor. This section of Valhalla contains no enemies and it connects Daedalus Tower with Bien. There is a hypnotist here who can send you back to Mikon City, which is useful if you need healing or removal of status ailments. At the weapon and armor shop, be sure to upgrade your gear. Nakajima should have the katana, breastplate, iron shield, and Kevlar helmet, while Yumiko should have the platinum dagger and Kevlar helmet. There are 2 guards protecting the entrance to Bien, one of whom is Garu. If we return his shield, Garu will grant us passage into Bien. The Sky City of Bien is a floating city which comprises 5 floors. The city used to be able to fly, but is no longer able to do so. Many of the inhabitants have also been turned to stone by the area boss, Medusa, and it's up to us to defeat her in order to set them free and restore the city. Before we can do that, it is vital to retrieve the statue of Tabasa, which can be found in the southwest section of the 2nd floor. This statue is essential because it can protect your entire party from petrification in the fight against Medusa. We should level up our party to at least level 16 by grinding and fighting the enemies in Bien. It is recommended to create stronger demons, such as fusing Cerberus and Dryad to form Kelpie, as well as fusing Trent and Gnome to obtain Stonka. With a party of Cerberus, Kelpie, and Stonka, we can now proceed to level 4 for the boss fight against Medusa. If you have obtained the statue of Tabasa earlier on, this fight will be a lot easier as she can no longer petrify you. However, her Botra magic spell can still cause substantial damage, so heal as and when necessary. After defeating Medusa, we will receive the Bull Key and the elevator is now available for use. If you return to the 2nd floor, the City Elder will reward you with a Sky City Pass and double the amount of money you currently hold. As such, I highly recommend grinding for more Maka before coming back to double your money. A new weapon and armor shop is also accessible in the southeastern section, so we should buy and equip new gear. Nakajima should have the Kotetsu blade and the ceramic shield, while Yumiko should have the mirror sword, the fiber suit, and the charm helmet. We should now head back to Valhalla and talk to Garu on the way. It is important to speak to Garu because he will give you the Lorus charm, which can nullify the magic attacks of the next area boss, Loki. The enemies are considerably stronger in Valhalla, so it's time to recruit new demon allies such as Puka and Fomoria. While in the basement of Valhalla, your party will come across a gargoyle called Rick, who was imprisoned by Loki. In order to rescue Rick successfully, your party needs a combined strength of at least 15 points. After he has been freed, Rick will give you his bracelet, which is an essential plot item. If your computer has 6 demons or less in storage, Rick will also transform into a demon ally and join your party. In my case, the Kelpie in my party determined Rick's transformation into Kawancha, which is a very good demon at this point in the game. Next, we will need to obtain some amethysts in the southwestern section of Basement 1. After obtaining the amethyst, we should proceed to Rack's store, which can be found in the eastern section of level 1. Rack doesn't accept Maka as payment, so we'll need to exchange the amethyst for 2 important plot items, the Ares necklace and the Heaven Magatama. As one amethyst can only be exchanged for 1 item, the party will need to go back to the basement to retrieve another amethyst for the other item. Using an amethyst also gives your party a 100% success rate of escaping non-boss battles, so be careful not to use it accidentally during battles. Before confronting Loki, we should grind and level up our party to at least level 25. The recommended demons for the fight against Loki include Kawancha, Salamander, Apis, and Elrane. I already obtained Kawancha by rescuing Rick earlier. Other potential fusions include Fomoria and Dwarf to create Salamander, Baku and Dryad to create Elrane, as well as Elrane and Gnome to create Apis. Loki can be found in the eastern section of the first floor. The fight against Loki is not difficult. If you have Loru's charm that nullify Loki's magic attacks, he won't be able to inflict too much damage on your party. Just attack and heal as necessary. After defeating Loki, we will receive the Crude Gem. Next, we should head back to the Sky City of Bien to heal up and also to speak to the captain of the Sky City on the 2nd floor. He can fly the city to Mazurka. The party will then arrive at the 8th floor of Mazurka. Once again, the enemies are considerably stronger, and it is recommended to fuse new demon allies. You can fuse Cancer and Yomotsu Shikome to create Naga, Apis and Katam to create Kukalin, Naga and Dryad to create Chimera. The 8th floor is also a good place to grind, as you can use the archway nearby to spawn enemies, especially groups of succubus which give plenty of experience points and magnetite. Be careful if you come across Loa or Vampire, because these enemies can permanently lower the level of your human characters. You can use Kukalin to cast the spell Tetraja to protect your party from this or just escape from battles with them. From here, you can easily head back to Sky City for healing when necessary. Next, we should head to the 6th floor where there is a weapon and armor shop to upgrade our gear. Nakajima should have the Flame Baton, full body armor, and Platinum Shield, while Yumiko should have the Dancing Blade and Angel Circlet. After spending the bulk of our money, we can now seek out Gaia on the 8th floor to purchase the Silver Relief from him. This item is required to reveal a secret door that will lead us to the boss Hecate. No matter how much Maka you have, Gaia will take all your money as long as it's above 4,100 Maka. Hopefully you have spent most of your money and this won't hurt too badly. Next, we will have to descend to the 5th floor of Mazurka in order to retrieve the statue of Ratos. We will need to replace this with the Ares necklace, which weighs the same, so as to prevent setting off a trap. You should also have the Heaven Magatama with you for it to work. Without the statue of Ratos, Hecate will remain invisible during the fight, and physical attacks will not land on her. After obtaining both the Silver Relief and Statue of Ratos, we can now proceed to level 3 to confront Hecate. Your party should be at least level 40 at this point, and recommended demon allies include Anubis, Chimera, and Dawn. I fused Naga and Kawancha to create Anubis because it has the spell Hyper, which can boost the attack power of the entire party. Do note that the secret pathway to Hecate cannot be accessed if you have demon allies in your party. Since the comm command cannot be used outside of battle on this floor, you will need to return your demon allies into the computer during battle or return to level 4 in order to do so. After arriving at the spot with an empty shape in the wall, cast the spell Mappa and the Silver Relief will be used to reveal the secret path. At this point, resummon all your required allies during a random encounter before going into a fight against Hecate. Hecate doesn't have a lot of HP, But her blizzard spell can be very annoying as it can freeze most of your allies and make them useless for one entire turn. Pay attention to low HP and heal as necessary. After defeating her, we will receive the Surge Gem, and the elevator in the eastern tower of Mazurka will now be working. We can now take the elevator to B2 of Mazurka. The rotting sea of flames is without doubt the most frustrating section of the game. The enemies are tough, the flames look like the insides of someone's intestines, and the party takes damage no matter where they go. We'll definitely need to feel stronger demons to take on the enemies in the area. Personally, I fuse Kawancha and Dawn to create Hanuman, as well as Kukalin and Kelpie to create Thor. Watch out for the demon Taraga, as she can perform energy drain and cause your characters to lose levels. We should make our way to the new weapon and armor shop to upgrade the gear of our characters. Nakajima should now be equipped with the Orichalcum set and Yaksha mask, while Yumiko should have the Lord's blade. While exploring, you may also come across a wounded knight in a room. If you cast Medi to save him, your entire party will receive full HP recovery. Next, it will be useful to do some grinding in the eastern section outside Rex's store, as there's a source of amethyst near him and you can exchange it for Dragon's Whisker to fully restore the HP of your entire party. Before grinding, it will be good to release Izanami and receive her robe for protection against the flames. Izanami's robe is an item that will prevent HP loss while your party walks around the rotting sea of flames. This can be obtained by searching for the goddess Izanami on B2. Izanami has been imprisoned by Lucifer, and in order to release her from the strange mask, we will need to insert the 3 gems obtained so far into the corresponding slots. We will need to be very careful because any mistake will result in a failure and the game must be restarted before another attempt can be made. I highly suggest using a save state before inserting the gems. To start off, insert the crude gem into the top. This should be followed by the calm gem to the right and lastly the surge gem to the left. If successful, the mask will fall apart to reveal a beautiful lady and Izanami will present us with her robe. Next, we will need to look for the elephant Persky on the second floor and defeat him to obtain his trumpet. This item is essential in the fight against the area boss Seth as it will negate his powerful physical attacks. At this point, we can also look for the demon Roos who can be found in a bottle on the first floor. After he joins you, Roos will provide hints on occasion when Yumiko can use the Mappa skill to reveal a secret door. Recruiting Roos is entirely optional, as the party will still be able to seek the secret passageways so long as you play with a guide. So before confronting Seth, your party should be at least level 45 and have obtained Persky's trumpet. Seth can be found on the first floor all the way to the south. My recommended party is Anubis, Thor, and Hanuman. At the start of the battle, Anubis and Thor should cast Hyper to boost the party's attack, while Hanuman should cast Tetraja to protect the party against Seth's energy drain, which can cause a drop in our character's level. Be mindful that Seth can still freeze most of the party and inflict substantial damage with his magic attacks. Yumiko should use the healing spell Medical at opportune moments to fully restore the HP of any one ally. After defeating Seth, Nakajima will receive and equip the Lion Shield, which is the best shield in the game. Before moving on to the final dungeon, we should now return to Sky City to obtain the best sword in the game. Yumiko can cast Mappa to open a secret door on the 4th floor of Sky City. From there, we will need to navigate our way to the southeastern tile and fall down to the basement. In order to pull out the blade from the rock, the total attribute points of Nakajima's strength, wisdom, and luck has to be 48 and above. If successful, the Hino Kaguzuchi sword will be automatically equipped by Nakajima. While it's possible to enter Anfini Palace from the Rotten Sea of Flames, it's much easier to move the Sky City to Anfini and start at the 4th floor of the palace. Our first order of business is to locate the NPC who will reveal to us the secret of the Holy Pot. It's essential to speak to him before returning all the way back to the 2nd floor of the Rotting Sea of Flames, where we can find the bottomless Holy Pot. With Rick's bracelet, the party will be able to obtain the White Dragon Gem, which is crucial in the fight against Lucifer. This item prevents Lucifer from using the medical spell to fully restore his HP. Without the White Dragon Gem, it would be nearly impossible to beat Lucifer, as he uses the medical spell very often to fully restore his HP. Back at the Anfini Palace, we should upgrade the gear of the party. The endgame weapon and armor are really expensive, so you may need to grind more maka in order to purchase them. Nakajima should be equipped with the Aura Helmet, while Yumiko should have the Aura Blade and Aura Armor. On the second floor of the palace, we should also look for 2 secret passageways to retrieve the Mist Armor for Nakajima and the Daphne's Crown for Yumiko. With these equipment, both characters should now have all the best weapons and armor equipped for the final fight. On the first floor of the Anfini Palace, seek the hidden door and have Yumiko cast Mappa to gain access to the Raid Tower, which is home to the Demon Lord Lucifer. We will need to get through 8 floors and a series of annoying obstacles which include bright zones, fake walls, traps, warps and rotating tiles. By the time I reached the end, my Nakajima and Yumiko were at level 56. My demon allies included Ganesha, which was fused from Chimera with Dryad, Odin, fused from Anubis and Naga, as well as Wonglong, fused from Thor and Sebek. Lucifer has 8000 HP, so it's gonna take a while to defeat him. Ganesha should start the battle by casting Hyper to increase the attack power of the entire party. Yumiko and Odin can then help to heal as and when necessary. And I have to say that I really love the elaborate and pixelated design of Lucifer. After defeating him, it's time to enjoy the ending. So I know that Digital Devil Story on the NES is a notorious game known for its difficulty and being a grindfest. However, once you understand the essential mechanics of the gameplay, it will make things a lot easier. What I really appreciate is that this game tried to innovate, mixing together elements of magic, mythology, and technology. It was the first game that allowed us to recruit enemies and fuse our allies into stronger demons. I really like the fact that the main character was not a typical hero wielding a sword and armor, but a morally ambiguous high school student. The rock-inspired soundtrack was also excellent and unique for an NES game. I hope that this video can work as a soft guide and encourage more people to play the game. If you found this video useful, I would appreciate it if you could hit like and subscribe to my channel for more JRPG videos in future. Thank you for watching and let me know in the comments what I have missed out for this game. This is JRPG Otaku and wishing you a great day. Peace!